Hey guys, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are well. Hope you can hear me. It's a Tuesday. Yes, it's a Tuesday. So welcome. I'm just making sure that my lighting is better here. Hi Instagram. Hi Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and LinkedIn. Hi guys, I hope you're well. So I thought today, let me talk a little bit about, hey guys, I can see you. Thank you for joining. I thought today let's talk a little bit about being a healer. I've been getting a lot of messages around this issue. So I thought let me just talk a little bit about it. We're not gonna get like deep, but we're gonna share a few things that might shine a light on your questions. So, all that I have noticed is that I'm trying to get the lighting correct, guys. All that I've noticed is that, you know what, a lot of people think being a healer is something special, is something like amazing, is something that like comes out of I don't know, like it's a hard thing, it's a complicated thing. No, really guys, it's not that deep. I promise you, it is not that deep. Now I am a healer. So I'm talking from experience. It's not that deep. It's just like being a lawyer. There's like 50,000 billion lawyers in the world. It's just like being a nurse. It's just like being a photographer. It's just like, it's so simple. It's so simple. When other people complicate it, you know, they bring in chickens in the mix and all this stuff. And I promise you, that whole chicken stuff and this and that and that, and you know, of course, there's like a regalia to being a healer. Sometimes you wanna wear the stuff that tells people you're a healer, like a doctor will wear a white coat. Other people want to, show up like that. It's fine. I mean, it's fun, right? But it's not that deep. Let's just start there. If you're a photographer, it's not that deep being a photographer. You go and you study photography. But the thing is that when you were born, when you came out of your mother's womb, you were already given that gift of being a photographer. When you came out of your mother's womb, you're already given that gift of being a chef. You come here, you chef at 8 years. You're cooking. My daughter like cooks everything, like the whole grocery. She will cook it, and you are doing it already at 8 years. You just have to learn a little bit, like, you know, the spice mixed with the spice makes this. It's not that deep. You are born a photographer, you become one. But then being a healer is like all of a sudden like the most complicated thing. Like people make it such like a dramatic thing. But then again, you know what? There's an industry that will not benefit if there are more healers. So that industry always came in and said, you know what, we want to be a billion, well, 100 billion rand industry. I don't want to say people's names and things because they will do stuff to me. But that industry made sure that there is less of these other ways of healing, so that everybody can go to. So I mean, there's so many other types of healing in the planet that are not recognized, that you can't even get medical aid on to pay for you, and all these things, and they are shown as a bad way of healing, maybe, or a not so great way of healing, and there's like one way of healing. Of course, that is a lie. We all know that, but like, what can you do about it? Somebody is, of course, wanting to own that space and wanting to keep everything everybody out of it. So I'm not anywhere here to talk about those politics, because I mean, like, I found it like this. I'm probably gonna leave it like this. But now I want to talk to the person who is a healer, that was born a healer, but is trying to not be one, is trying to run from it because somebody said it's not good, somebody said it's not what? There's no policies, there's no regulations, there's no this, there's no that. So anyway, it's creepy, and it's all the scary stuff you've had. I mean, you've had stuff about being a healer. It's like scary, scary things that it's a movie, it's a film. But I want to talk to that person who is a healer and who is trying to not become one because they are scared of being weird, they are scared of being judged, they are scared of all these things. One thing, first thing on this subject is that it is not that deep. So one of the things when I started my journey of becoming a healer, of course, myself, I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. And I'd rather be a coach. And I went and I studied being a coach. I got trained as a coach, which really helped a lot because it helped me to understand the healing environment. But then now, even being a coach was something that, of course, here in Africa, South Africa, it came after the US had already, ran with that for a long time before we sort of found it. And even when I was becoming a coach 10 years ago, it was still something that was frowned upon. People didn't know what coaching was. They didn't understand why it's there. People just knew that they need to go to church, or, I mean, whatever else that you have to go through to cope with life. They didn't know that a coach is somebody that can hold your hand through issues in your life and all this stuff, achieving your goals and all this. So being a coach was not something that I learned. It's something that I was given. I came in the planet ready to give advice and counsel to people, to hold people's hand, to help people through. And everybody that is a coach, which is a healer, that is trying to run from it, you get into a text, people start telling you their problems. You are in a party, the party part always irritates me, because I'm in a party, I'm there to enjoy myself, and people start to tell me about their problems, their boyfriend problems, their money problems. They don't even know me from a bar of soap, but all of a sudden they just feel like I'm the right person to be told these things, this horrific stuff in their lives. At work, you can hardly work. People keep coming in and out. They are telling you their problems, and you keep giving them advice that you don't know where it comes from. You keep saying the things that they go and they come back, they say, oh, that thing you said that day changed my life. That thing that you told me to do and how to look at my problem. What actually worked? And you are busy making people millionaires. You are busy saving people's marriages when you don't even have one. And you're like, but what is going on? And you've been doing this all your life because it's something you came with. Like I'm saying, when you're a chef, you start at 7, you're cooking the whole grocery. Like I'm saying, my daughter cooks the whole grocery. So you already started before you even knew you were doing this. But then it's just that nobody is telling you that this is your gift. This is something that you are brought into the planet to do. So a lot of healers, it's either they don't know it because nobody has told them that a healer looks like this, a healer does this and this and this. Or number 2, they just scared of coming out of the closet. Me too, I'm a healer. Like, oh no, let's not talk about those people. Let's not talk about those people. So I'm going to be talking to you today about those things. And like I said, it's not that deep. Being a healer is not that deep. So let's go a little bit back. So when I started my journey of becoming a healer, like I said, I started at the coaching thing because, of course, people kept asking me, how do you do this? How do you make money? And when I will sit down with people and explain stuff to them, they will go do it. It works. And then one day somebody said to me, you know what, this was back then 10 years, a guy from UK that was my friend, he was living here in South Africa. He said to me, you know, Lucy, you are a coach. And I was like, what is that? And then he started to explain to me. One day he totally convinced me, and then I started being a coach. And I was like, yeah, man, damn it, this thing I've been doing all along. So I just needed to learn, you know, what to do and what not to do when I'm coaching a person, because of course, this is like mental issues. This is psychology. You need to be trained to handle a person's mindset, that you don't kill them, you know, you make them strong, don't not killing them, because you've got that much power. If you're a coach or you're a healer, you can destroy a person if you don't know what you're doing. That's why you need training to being a healer, you need training being a coach, but not training of the gift, training of how to use the gift correctly. So just like you cook the whole grocery, you're cooking it wrong, or you could go then to cooking school and learn how to cook the grocery better, but still you're gonna be cooking the grocery. So that cooking the grocery thing is inside of you. The other things, it's just you now polishing it. Like, you know how to sing, you singing, but then you go to singing school to know exactly the projections and this and this and this. I don't know what they do. It's at music school, but like you are a DJ, you already love music, you already have a feel for music, but then you go to school for that. So that's why then you need to be trained as a healer, you need to be trained as a coach for the purpose of understanding what you are doing. But the gift is in you, the gift moves you, you don't move the gift. So I want to tell you my story. I want to tell you my story. Why do I keep going ahead of myself? So when I started the journey of me being a healer, is that I didn't know at first that this thing of helping people and counseling people was an issue in my life, that I needed to really help people. Then I found out, and then I went and I started coaching. But then after that, the next level came through, which I understood now that actually I'm not just a coach, I am actually a holistic healer. I have a spiritual gift of healing people in so many ways. And then I thought, okay, then what is this? And then, of course, this whole thing of it's creepy and this and this and this came through, you know, the doubts and all this. But then I started to go through a process of training, which was not going to Twasa as in we know it here in Africa or in South Africa, but it was a process of getting mentors who mentored me in being a healer, who mentored me and said, this is how it works, this is what needs to be done, this is how you do it. And then there wasn't a chicken involved. I didn't go to Twasa, but I got mentors who then started to take me through the route. And I got to learn a lot of things. And one of the things that I learned at that time, because I got mentors from, one of my mentors was from Brazil. I got mentors from different places in the planet. I got a mentor from Brazil. I got a mentor from India. I got a mentor from different places. And of course, I got a mentor from South Africa, from Africa, that so gave me all the all around the different aspects of healing. So I learned, I mean, from crystals to energy to ancestors and all that stuff. All of it works together. Okay, so now, but also it wasn't in the religious way. So a lot of healers that are mostly South African, they have gone through the religious route of being Isangoma, which sometimes for some, not everybody, for some, it becomes a religious thing where it closes their eyes from other things, that they sort of make it like religious, like going to church. I mean, why do you go to church? We normally go to church for fun, because we all know God is not there. God is in our hearts. So when we go to church, it's like, oh, let's get together, let's sing together, let's feel the good vibes together, let's do this. But we know that God is not in the church. God is in our hearts. We know that our guides are not at church. We know that our ascended masters, Jesus, Buddha, whoever is your primary ascended master, is not there. You know it's not there, but you go there to congregate with other people that also believe in the same thing. It could be Mohammed, it could be Jesus, it could be more Buddha, and all the others. But you know that it's not a church. Hence, during COVID, everybody finally found out that no, man, I can do this thing by myself. I can honor God. I can worship God in my house by myself. And people grew a lot spiritually during the COVID time because all of a sudden there was no church. There was you and God. Okay, so one of the things I learned was that people under the equator, which are in the southern hemisphere, they if you can go Google it now, there's only 7% of the entire planet stays under the equator in the southern hemisphere. Now, I'm not going to go deep into that. Some of you are in the manifestation process course that we are running for the whole year, which we're using the sun energy to manifest. And you will know that I've talked about that in more detail, that we in the southern hemisphere, all of you, I'm sure you studied geography, you did that geography, right? You didn't jump that class. You know what is the equator, right? It's right there in Kenya. All across the people above the equator are in the northern hemisphere. People that are below the equator, which is us and everybody else that's below the equator, we are in the southern hemisphere. Now, only 7% of the whole entire planet, 7 billion people, right? How many people are in the planet? Somebody remind me. I think it's 7 billion, if I'm not mistaken. Out of the 7 billion, only 7% live under the equator, which is in the southern hemisphere, which is where we live. Now, these people are black. Now, generally, these people are black. The ones that are under the equator are black. The ones on top of the equator are white. So the equator is so of course, the closer you move away from the equator going up, you become much whiter. The further you go down from the equator, you become darker and darker sometimes, But I mean, that's just like the generalization of it. It's not really like specific, but under the equator, there's only 7% people. You can Google it. Now, these people also get the most sun around the 12-month cycle. So the people on top, they get less sun. The people underneath the equator, they get more sun. Again, that is geography. It's not me saying that. You can also go Google that. We get more. There are countries under the equator and in those regions that actually never gets winter. And I mean, their days are longer, and I mean, you go to like places like Cape Town in South Africa, you find that the sun goes down at 8 p.m. and stuff like that. So we get more sun. Now, the sun is the source of energy for everybody. It's the purest source of energy that you don't buy, you don't pay for it. We get more of that stuff. Only 7% in the whole entire planet gets the best stuff in the planet. That's why Africa is the most richest continent and all this and that. Why do you think all the gold is here? Because we get the most sun, we get our everything is more amazing, right? So the 7% in the world are the ones that have been given the most healing powers. So the 7% is supposed to heal the entire world. But it makes sense, right? Everybody else can do whatever they wish with their lives, but the 7% is supposed to heal the world. But then guess what happened? Because when you are a healer, you've got way more powers, right? I mean, of course, healers got power. Right? Look at me, child. So you've got more powers, you've got more insight, you can speak to the spirits, you can understand way more which means that you can control way more. And before everything went wrong in the planet, Black people were actually owning Europe. And they were not owning Europe by force. They were leaders. And you can go around and check and check and check and check in the history. You will find that Black people, before everything went wrong, they were owning the whole world because we are the healers of the world. But then somebody was like, man, something is wrong with these people. They're going to mess us up. They are even Black, damn it. So then the mess sort of happened from there. And then today, here we are, we see that, oh, Black people are marginalized, and all this stuff. I don't even want to go there. You guys know what's up with that. So, and as I'm saying, I am explaining this in more detail in the manifestation course. So get on that if you want to know the story of why you're Black. and why your manifestation powers were taken away from you, why you broke today and everybody looks like they've got money and they make it out of the Black people. I mean, the whole entire world is built by Black people. When if you go to America is so rich and it was built by Black people for free. It was built by slaves that were taken here and took there and built the whole entire amazing America today. It was built by Black people for free. So what does that tell you about being Black people being strong and being healers and all this? So, and all the time, Black people's healing is being stolen from them in all sorts of ways, like in all crazy ways. I don't want to go in there. But now, the whole Pisces age, the Pisces age is the age that I just finished in the past 2,000 years, was the Pisces age. We've just entered the new age, which is the Aquarius age. It's now changing everything. The Black people are finally waking up. The Black people are finally sorry. They're like, sorry. We remember, man. We remember something, somewhere. Our ancestors were the ones that were ruling. Our ancestors were the ones that was giving the healing. Our ancestors were the one that was. No, please, no. We remembering now. So now we are remembering. That is why you see people everywhere. They're becoming sangoma, this, that. And everybody's like, it's a fashion. It's not a fashion. It's not deep. Relax. It's just something that needed to happen because it was always there and it got lost. And I don't want to go into more details on that. This video is not about that. But now, the Black people under the equator are finally waking up to who they were before. So the story now is that we have to unlearn the stuff that we were told was that we are not good enough, sit down, shut up, work for us, build us up. I mean, the whole entire world is built by Black people, and we are the least in the world. There is less Black people in the world than anybody else. You can Google that. I'm lying. So now, when you are feeling the whole spirit of you wanting to help people, you every day feeling like everybody's taking from me, and nobody's giving to me, everybody's taking to me. It's not a miracle. You are supposed to be giving to the world. But the problem is that you're giving for free. So then this whole entire thing now becomes a case instead of being a good thing. And then there's also the red tape. You must get a chicken, you must get a cow, you must do this, you must do that. And the training of it is made sound horrible while it's not supposed to be. While it's not even, it's training just like, I mean, I initiate healers and it's not a long journey. I mean, of course, people are freaking out, so it's a little bit longer. But it's a short journey. It can literally take you 3 months and you've learned everything you need to learn and you start healing people like you're supposed to. And being a healer is not about ube isangoma and do crazy stuff. You become a healer in so many ways. Other people become a healer in making clothes for people. That when people wear those clothes, they become better. In doing so much. And it's not just about healing the soul of a person or the spiritual part of a person, it's a lot. I mean, I see Bongi is just joining. Bongi heals people while she's training them, she's giving them a nice balm. She's healing them. She's a healer, but she heals them doing squats. It's a miracle. Sorry, I'm making an example with you. I just saw your name pop out, so there you go. So, but we are healers, all of us under the equator. It's not a joke, but it's also not deep in everything that we do. So what you're going to see right now in the Aquarius is that us here in Africa, we're going to start to finally tap into the world energy. We're going to go and become accountants in the rest of the world. We're going to, while we're healing people, we are accounting them. Well, accounting their books, their finances. You're going to see us being in sport. You are in sport, you are healing them. You are, because the thing is that healing is not a dramatic thing, is your energy. You are in a room and people heal because you are there, not because you're doing anything amazing. You are the energy, you are the healing machine yourself, just saying hello to a person. So many people have watched my new video, and then after that they would send me a message and say, Busi, my life changed because of your video. I never met them, I'll probably never meet them. On my Instagram, so many people from so many countries, I have done healing from them. They just see me on Instagram, they watch my videos, they book for a healing session, and they are fixed. I never get to meet them ever. So you just by the virtue of being here, you happen to come out of a womb in here, the south of this equator. You are the thing. You like it or not, you are the thing. But we do not understand what this energy we carry is about, because we have been told that it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. So a lot of people that come through to an energy healing session with me, most of you that I see here logged in have come through to a energy healing session with me. You know what we do. I do energy healing. I literally heal you from yourself. I don't even give you nothing. I heal you from yourself. And one of the things that happen in an energy session, when I'm having an energy session with a person, is that I interpret for them what their guides are saying to them. And you all know that I put a person in a small meditation, and then when the person's alpha waves in the brain goes down to about, if you're great at it, you're about at a 4, or you go up to a 16. When your brain waves are between 4 and 16, you're in the alpha state, which means that you've stopped the active mind. You are now in the internal mind. Then in the internal mind, that's where the message is. And then I will interpret the message for you, because you are not used to hearing this message. You don't understand it. So then I just tap into your mind and I tell you what's already there. Your guides are always talking to you. God is always talking to you. Your angels are always talking to you. You're not hearing them, because guess what? You've been told you cannot hear them. You can't hear them. So what I do in an energy session is that I'm just interpreting the information. But of course, you need to calm down. So the only thing I need to do is calm you down. And then I read what your ancestor is saying to you, what your angel is saying to you, what God says you are. And clear, of course, your energy chakras, and clear this and this and this and that. And you go home, you find out what you need to continue doing to maintain this energy. Of course, all of us need somebody to always stand in the gap for us and help us go through our own healing process. But it's not that deep. It's not, and all of us here can do the same thing. But the only thing is that for me to be able to read your mind, to tell you what you are not hearing, I obviously have to do what I call a housekeeping with my energy and my mind. So, of course, over the years, I may practice and practice and practice how to use the third eye, how to cleanse my energy so that I can be able to connect easily with your energy. Now, even the other people do it. I mean, in a magic show, I studied magic. I went to like literally a magic school and I studied magician. Of course, don't ask me why. I was just curious. So there, you are also not taught how to read people's minds, but you are shown how you can read people's minds. And when you're a magician, you read people's mind, you put thoughts in their brain, and then you tell them what they're thinking, and they're thinking, oh, this is magic. No, it's not. It's not deep. Again, it's not at all. I promise you guys, it's not deep. It's just like you have to have the knowledge, you have to understand how it happens, and then you can practice and then you can get it right. But for us, we don't just do the magic part, because anybody can do the magic part. Because if you have a brain is a computer. It can do anything. It can read other computers. So because then we've been given the energy of healing others, is that then we can mix the magic with the energy to heal others, and then we can change people's lives in any sphere of our life. But then there are those then that are dedicated to just making sure that they're healing people in a spiritual manner, in their spirituality, in their emotional state, in this and this and this and that. So that is how it can then gets to be categorized. So for me, I then have the gift to heal people spiritually, mentally, emotionally, money-wise, on all the other things. So another person is in another space. Still, you've got the energy and you're supposed to be using it to heal people, because when you heal people, what you're doing is that you're creating good karma for yourself. Every time you heal somebody, you get paid for it in the spiritual realm, in terms of you getting what you want. So being a healer, again, you can't be a healer and be broke if you're doing it correct. Because if you're doing it correct, you're doing it from your heart. And every time you help somebody, you get paid for it. Now, if you go out there and you're healing people with the magic and you're doing it for money, then guess what? You're not using the correct principles in the planet, so you then have a problem. So that's why you see the other people are making magic and they're telling people you are getting healed, but then they still go through all this horror. It's because they are jumping the steps. I don't know why they do it, because I mean, it's not difficult to do it the correct way, but then you know what, people can be a little bit somehow. We're not talking about those people also. We're talking about you and why you are scared of just accepting that you've been given the energy. You are here for a reason. I mean, there could have been some way you came here in the Southern Hemisphere. Why? Just ask yourself why. There is a reason. And all of us chose, by the way, to be here. So you just don't remember, but we all applied to come here, do this. We knew that we wanted to do this. We knew that in this lifetime we wanted to help others. So if you then understand the holistic part of being a healer, you don't get traumatized by the process of being a healer is a dramatic thing. You fall in love with it. Just like a musician falls in love with being a musician. You fall in love with khona abantu abamagedla. Umuntu oyigedla is somebody who knows how to mix herbs, who can supply all these things that people need to heal without even reading their energy or anything, but they just know when the sun comes what they need. You are a healer, a certain type of a healer. Of course, like I said, there are categories to it. And it's not also deep, because the information is embedded in you, in your DNA. So when you are here, you are literally just remembering what you have already known. I see a few questions. Let me stop and answer these ones before I continue. So guys, remember, click on what? Like, share with other children that you think they need this information. Mpo says, Lucy, today you speaking to me, speaking to me. So thank you, Mpo, for joining us. Hey, Sisanda says, people always felt comfortable sharing their problems with me. And apparently, I would give good advice out of nowhere. When I had a glimpse about being a healer, I was running away. Now I'm embracing it. Yes, child, you are doing great. You are doing amazing stuff. Mpho Machaba says, wow, powerful stuff. Thank you, Mpho, for joining us. Hey, blind guy, his wife, and their life. Spiritual healer and Jesus. How do they work together, or do we remove fabricated Jesus? No, same story. Jesus is a healer. Duh, the Bible says Jesus is the healer. Who doesn't know that? Jesus is a healer. I mean, he couldn't have done the stuff he did if he wasn't. Malebu says, I remember giving a person a whole lecture of how to quit cigarette in a club. Oh, do not remind me of those. Like, seriously, I hardly party because it's just one of those places where I'm gonna be working while everybody's partying. So now I've told people, like every day when we go play golf, afterwards there's a 19 hole, they call it. And then it starts. I am supposed to be now working while other people are. I just told them, don't even think about it. Singumile. Some light bulb moments day. Thank you for joining us. Hey, happy. This is my favorite person. I haven't seen you in so long. Somebody else says, hi. Magepusi, what's the Wamutlebo education play? Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, blind guy says, if I am a black person above the equator, is it possible to become a healer, or is it reserved for the 7%? No, it's not reserved for the 7%. Definitely, it's not reserved for the first, but the 7% has more abilities. So it's like the core of this whole thing starts with the 7%, and then the whole entire world gets the leftovers. Wrong, but yeah, something like that. So the rest of the world, they are healers, but it's like when they say Xhosa people are in Transkei, it doesn't mean that they can't be anywhere else, but they are mostly there. So yeah, it's not reserved for only the 7%. No, it's not. Okay, so let me see on Instagram if we've got a question. I don't think we've got a question on Instagram. Sorry, guys, just trying to scroll. Okay, and there's no question there. So now, when you finally understand that, of course, I am a healer, you don't have to do being a healer full time. Okay, another thing. You don't have to live your life and then go and become a sangoma somewhere and be dirty and all the stuff, the scary stuff. No. You don't have to. It doesn't. You choose how you wanna do it. So, just like myself, I chose how I want to be a healer, and it works for me. It totally suits me. So, because it's a gift, you choose how you want to cook. You choose what kind of food you want to cook. I mean, everybody chooses stuff, guys. Like, this is just like a normal thing, a normal gift that just like any other. So you choose. So people have different gifts. They have different businesses. They run them at the same time. So you could be working wherever you're working and then healing people whenever you want to do that. You don't have to say now, I have to stop everything. But the only problem is that when you don't understand and you have not sort of accepted that you are this thing, that is when it will trouble you. That is when your purpose will trouble you. But then again, a person who is an accountant, but they're supposed to be a chef, they are troubled. They wake up every morning and they go to a job they hate. They are troubled. It's not that your ancestors are angry with you and this and this and this. Guys. It's not that deep. I promise you, it's not that deep. It's just that you are troubled because you're not where you're supposed to be. An accountant that's supposed to be a chef is troubled at being accounting money. It's traumatic for them. because they're not where they're supposed to be. If you are a musician who is a chef, you are troubled because you're not supposed to be where you're supposed to be. But again, nobody told us that we're supposed to go to where we are supposed to be. They told us just go and get money, just go and get money. So it's not that your ancestors are angry, da 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 da. When you are not supposed to be, when you are not following your purpose, you will be troubled. Things will go wrong in your life. You are not where you're supposed to be. That's why they're going wrong. But if you accept that part of you, you accept your calling, you accept that I am a chef, but also maybe I can do accounting. Then you're doing accounting and you're doing chefing in different, I mean, you could do a whole lot of things at 24 hours in a day. Then you will be fulfilled by being a chef when you are being a chef, and then you go and do accounting when you want to do accounting. Again, like I'm telling you, it's not that deep. Okay, get over the whole thing of my whole entire life is going to turn upside down. No, there are so many people that come to me, initiate, understand how to heal, and understand how to heal people, understand how to heal themselves, their children, da 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 da, understand how to do readings and all this and all this. And then they still go and live their own lives, and then they do this thing when they want to do it. But the thing is that now they understand that when it's called for, they do it. It's not that deep. Okay, so if you are not, unless you want to make this thing a religion, religion will tell you you're not supposed to wear trousers at church, you're not supposed to do this, you're gonna die and go to hell, da 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 da, all these fears. Even in the healing space, there are people who do this fear stuff. Fear. Just, I don't know why they do it, because it's just not necessary. But the only thing is that if you are not where you're supposed to be, you will be troubled. It doesn't matter where. So if you are a healer that hasn't accepted that you're a healer, you will be troubled because you are not realizing who you are. You're not using your powers, because being a healer comes with powers that actually is supposed to help you first before it helps anybody else. Okay, so, there's a question. Lindelo says, my question is, how do I activate my healing power so that I do not give people the wrong advice? Okay, so I'm gonna answer Lindelo's a question now. So Lindelo, I think maybe you've just joined in. I said at the beginning that you need training in being a healer, as I was explaining that I had to train to become a coach. Now I'm born as a coach, but I learned to train so that I understand how the psychology works, how, what to do with a person, how to not kill a person, kill a person's mind, kill a person's life, just because I don't know what I'm doing. So you need training, and the training is not again something amazing. It is just literally having a mentor that will take you through the process. So I was saying earlier that there are people that I'm initiating on a daily basis in understanding this. So I normally do retreats. The next retreat is now in March, the end of the month of March. In that retreat, one of the things that I'll be showing people is how you read minds. So, and it's not for the purpose, and I mean, people could take it and go and do crazy stuff with it. But of course, I know that the people who come to the retreat are coming to learn it for the good reasons. So how you read a mind is because you have to read the mind of other people so that they know what is up. In this case, you're doing it for the right reasons. Now, scammers know also how to read people's minds. That's why they scam people, because they know what you're thinking. They know that you need a boyfriend, and then they come, they say, I'm a boyfriend. They know that you're needing money. They come and say, hey, there's money, come and I will give you rates that are going to bring you money. I saw a video the other day of people who gave so much money when they don't even have it to get rates to bring them money. But they've read that he's in struggle of money, because your mind the whole entire time is saying, money, 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 I don't have. So a person that knows how to read minds will read that you don't have money, and then they offer you money, and then you're thinking, yes, I've landed something. So anyway, in the retreat, I'm going to be teaching the people who are going to come through that know that they have got this gift, and they want to improve this gift. They want to do training on this gift. They want to understand this gift they've got. How you read minds. One of the things that is so important there is you have to understand your own state of mind. So a lot of healers are said to be depressed and this and this and this. You get depressed because being a healer uses your energy, it uses your mind. So every time you go out at the shops, you are taking people's energy and you are giving people the healing energy. But if you don't know how to control that, then you get depressed because all the time you are being depleted because you do not know how to handle that. So that's why you need training on how to handle that. So there are so many things, and I'm not going to talk about the retreat now. I just wanted to talk about this, but there are so many things. How do you take people to how do you cleanse people from bad energies, from spells, from this, all the things? How do you use energy in healing people and all that? So then you are now trained. Now you're knowing how to do this. So then you decide when you finish that, do I want to do this full time? And if you don't want to do it full time, but you do know how to use it. So if you want to take this to your workplace, you can't be going to a boardroom and people start to take you for granted if you know energy work. You're going to be in that boardroom and you're going to be in your energy, and people are going to respect you because you understand your fail and they understand now you fail. So this thing is not something that you then now need to go and, heal people one by one. You use it in the positions you are at, in improving other people's lives. Of course, you don't use it to manipulate people. You use it to improve people's lives in all the spaces that you are already in. Okay, I think I've answered your question. There's another question here from Slogan. Hi, Sis, do you figure out how do you figure out the type of healer you are? Okay, so that is an easy one, Slogan. Once you start the process of training, then you will understand what type of a healer you are, because then that is when you see which energies work better with you. So for me, like for instance, I read tarot cards. One of the things that I use to read energy is tarot cards, and of course other methods, but not everybody uses that. Other people use it at different things. So I use mostly energy healing. Other people uses different types. So when you start the training, you are given everything. It's like when you go to tertiary, you are given everything, and then there's a time where you get to specialize. Then you specialize with the one thing, but the basics are all the same. Like let's just say clearing bad energies that people have sent to you. That's like one process that everybody. It's a basic thing that every healer must know. So you are a healer, but you're busy dealing with so much drama in your life, but you don't know how to clear these things up. I think the sun that's coming through and it's causing okay. So now Swangile's question I've answered, I think. Okay, Didi says, I think it starts with knowing yourself and connecting with your ancestors, and you know the type of healer you are. Yeah, true story there, Didi. True. Blind guy, how do we find our purpose if we are elsewhere? I've done so many things. I feel fulfilled in many things. How do I determine the fulfillment is not true? Hey, when you are happy, you are happy. So, blind guy and your wife, if you are happy, then it's good. Then there's nothing wrong. But your purpose is the thing that makes you happy in life. So every time you're doing your purpose, you feel happy. If you're not doing your purpose, then you know something. You will feel weird. So again, we have been given one purpose in life, and we've been given a lot of talents. So talents is the things you know how to do. Just like myself, one of my talent is entrepreneurship. I can start a business any day. You can just say, go. I do that. But my main purpose is to help people find money. So I could start businesses for that. I could do so many other things, but all of it sort of boils down to this money. Even when I heal people, I am more excited when I'm healing a person around money. And of course, money is one of those things that everybody needs healing from. So even when a person comes and, there is like money problem, and I see that the relationship is what's causing the money problem, I will help them with the relationship, but then I will be like, let's work on the money. So my purpose, I was sent to make a way for others in terms of money. And of course, you will see that in my story, I went through 40 million rand debt just to learn a little bit more about money. Of course, it's not a fun thing. All of us have gone through things that have activated a certain thing in us that we then now don't want other people to go through. So you have many talents and you're supposed to use all of them. Like Jesus said, I gave you talents, you took them, you put them under the bed. You stupid person. What's wrong with you? Use the talents, all of them. Don't put them under the table. So a lot of people put their talents under the table. And Jesus did what? What happened, guys, in that story? Jesus took the talents. The one who stored the talents there and didn't use them. Jesus took them back and it's like, when are you joking? What's the problem? So your talents, you use all of them, but they will always sort of go towards the same thing. So, like I'm saying, I know my purpose is money, but then even the healers, I make sure they're not broke. You see, everybody that you're in a relationship, I'm making sure you're not broke. We're dealing with your relationship, I'm making sure you're not broke. We're dealing with your career, I'm making sure you're not broke. We're dealing with whatever, I'm making sure you're not broke. There are people who are bewitching you, I'm making sure you're not broke, you see. I'm starting a business, making sure nobody's broke. Okay, so that's my purpose, but it happens in so many talents. So I'm a speaker, I'm a whatever, all these things. I sometimes do commercial modeling, all those things, but they all come back to that sort of, calling that I've been called to do, which it has to do with money all the time. Like talk about money, me, I'm there. So I think that answers your question. But you must be happy. Whatever that you're doing, you must be happy, because then you are not troubled. And the good thing about being in your purpose is that your purpose gives you money more than anything else in the easiest way, where you don't suffer. So, like I said, a lot of people that are in the Southern Hemisphere are healers. So when you accept that you are a healer and you do the training in being a healer, you start using these healing powers for your own good so that you don't get broke. You see how it works? It connects. No, oh goodness, Nokwethemba. Okay, Nokwethemba Kuzwa, I think. Hi sis, how do you know you are a healer when the only thing you have is just dreams and vision, but you just don't know what to do with what you see? Okay, so Nokwe, I think you also joined in a little bit later. So that is a sign that God gives you, that you are supposed to see stuff. You're supposed to see things before they happen. You're supposed to see things that are happening in the background that is not in the physical realm, which of course the spiritual realm is 90% of our lives. The physical world is only 10%. So you see these dreams, you see these visions, you see all these things, so that it tells you that there is a power that you possess that gives you all this information. So that is why you need training on how to use that information. So at the beginning, that's what I was saying, that I had to go through training, and the training is not a dramatic thing. Is literally a mentor that takes you through the process. So I initiate people, but I don't bring them to my house. They don't even, some of them have never even met me. My own trainers that trained me and mentored me, I've never met some of them in the physical, but you get people who teaches you this thing. So I was saying that when I'm doing the retreats, I do the retreats so that people can come, and sometimes you don't even have to come. Last retreat, we even had people that were in the retreat over the internet that couldn't come physical. One lady was in the UK and she was with us in the retreat for the 3 days. So you learning how to use these powers so that you can then now dream, knowing how to use the information, seeing the visions, how to use the information. Because most of these dreams and these visions are for you, but then also because you have been given the gift, you also you can dream for other people. You can dream for purposes of helping others. But you need to understand what's up. So you need the training. You need some kind of a training. So you need to find a mentor that can help you understand what is going on. And it's not like maybe twice or do chicken stuff or anything a little bit dramatic. I mean, if you need to do that, you can do it. That it's nice and it's fun and it's all great. But if you don't want to go through that process, it doesn't mean that you are not a healer or you can't be one. Okay, no, I hope that you understand. Hey, Didi, long time, babes. Okay. Bianca says, thank you for the detailed answer. I'm happy and fulfilled with many things, but I'm a teacher. Yeah, you see, I'm always informing others and constantly seeking knowledge and understanding. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So being a teacher is a calling. Being a teacher is healing to people. Like, you see, you are that kind of a healer, a teacher. One. See, sorted. Bonnie says healers retreat on the 23 to the 25 of March at you will learn how to be healer that you have always been, but scared of due to how all this healing or becoming a healer has been portrayed. Thank you both. So when we just uh, um, uh, saying what what we're gonna be doing at the retreat. So Bongi, when I met her, she knew that she had something special, but she didn't know how to use it. And she's been coming through the retreats. Today, she's an amazing healer, and she's doing it, getting people into good bum shape. I mean, she